Russia has resumed gas supplies to Europe via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, albeit at a significantly reduced level, as experts say that a winter energy crisis remains inevitable. German authorities said that 40% of usual levels were expected to arrive today. Berlin had been concerned that scheduled maintenance work on the pipeline could signal the end of gas supplies altogether, but the announcement has failed to alleviate fears among experts that Europe won't be heading towards an energy crisis later this year. Brussels and Berlin accuse Moscow of squeezing gas flows in retaliation for Western sanctions. Well, in the face of what it calls Russian blackmail, the European Union has faced backlash over its proposals to address energy security on the continent. Brussels has called on member states to cut back gas usage by 15% to shore up the bloc's winter gas stores. But the move has triggered stern opposition from several EU countries. Madrid saying that the plan doesn't account for less dependent states, while Lisbon reports that it's been having to increase gas usage due to drought problems in the country. A vote to approve the proposal will be held next Tuesday. For more analysis on what all of this means, we can bring in Simone Tagliapietra now. He is an energy policy expert at the Bruegel think tank. Good to have you with us. Welcome to the programme. So the gas is back on for now. This isn't crisis averted, though, is it?
Well, I think we should not sit back and relax our flight because Nord Stream 1 has been reopened. I think Russia so far has been playing a very strategic game. For Russia, it makes more strategic sense to send low volumes of gas rather than a full cutoff, because a full cutoff can really catalyze action of European governments to cut demand and to make Europe more resilient. So they hope we now sort of do some muggling through, not reducing gas demand, and maybe cut the gas in the winter when we are more vulnerable. So we need to stick to our plans. We need to reduce our gas demand because an interruption can happen at any time.
So if I understand your message correctly, you're saying to European member states, this is a trap, don't fall for it.
I think that over the last weeks, we have seen Russia cutting the gas supplies by 2/3 to Europe and making a geopolitical use of these gas supplies. So we can certainly not trust Russia to continue to send these remaining 1/3 of the supplies. We should get ready for a scenario which now is likely of a full interruption. And the only way to get prepared for Europe now is to reduce demand, because we have done whatever it was possible to be done on the supply side. We have attracted a lot of LNG, liquefied natural gas, namely from the United States, to rebalance the lower volumes of Russian gas. Now the eventual gap will have to be filled by the reducing demand. That's what we need to do now.
But will Brussels actually do that? Because, I mean, yesterday it called on member states to reduce gas use by 15%. Less than 24 hours later, we heard from Spain, we heard from Portugal saying they'd reject that. So, you know, what needs to happen here?
Well, of course, while introducing these European targets, you always have some countries that want to claim they are special and want to claim they need a different treatment. But here, I think we need to understand that reducing demand by 15% is something that would allow everybody and Europe overall to get a more efficient management of this crisis. We would be better off altogether if we are to go down this pathway indicated by the European Commission. And I think what can be negotiated possibly is a compensation for those countries that are less dependent on Russian gas and can provide solidarity to other European countries that are more vulnerable. EU solidarity ensured by a compensation mechanism can be the way to go.
I certainly understand the logic in that proposal, but the fact of the matter is we've got Hungary's foreign minister in Moscow today saying that he wants to buy more Russian gas for Hungary. So, I mean, at the end of the day, is this not the moment where European unity essentially crumbles in this war?
Well, this is, I think, the strategy from the very first day by Russia. Russia wants to weaponize energy in order to divide and rule. And I think it will be full by the European Union, by the European countries, to let the Russian strategy prevail. If we fragment ourselves, if we go in different directions, Russia will prevail, they will weaken our domestic politics, and as a result, they will weaken our foreign policy stance in support of Ukraine and against the Russian aggression. So I think Europe should not go down this way, and maintaining the unity is important, even if we need to find solutions to guarantee that everybody is on board, like in the case of Hungary.